Good morning, Fraser. It is Thursday morning. It is men's group. So again, here a little early. It's almost 6:30, so I'm here by 6:30, just in case anybody comes along that, has to go to work today and just wants to kind of hang out for a bit before they go to work. I don't know what that means, the minus 22. 10. I don't know what that means. I don't know why it's on minus. I don't know. I always turn on the stereo system for Neil. Just Neil likes to play a couple of tunes while we're here with the guys, and so I turn it on, but the way it reads is weird. Like it was down to minus 21. And then I upped it to minus 10, and that's for sound. And I don't know why the minus. I don't get that, because to me minus is less. But it's almost like it's louder with the more minus. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to be heading out for brunch with Zach today, after men's group. And then we'll see what the day holds from there. Alrighty, back at home. I've been back at home for a little while. I went out for lunch with Zach and chatted with Zach for a little while, which was good. It was more of a brunch, so really I'm still entitled to a lupper, something. I don't know. I'm allowed to eat something before dinner, right? Am I not? I don't know. I just need a project. I just need to do a project. I just need to work. I just need to work on something. Just got to figure out what that is. Not for you so much as for my sanity. Going to be working on this. This is where the water line is in from the city. So we had to take this apart back when the water went back in the summertime. I just never have gotten around to fixing it. So I'm going to look at trying to fix it now. See what we can do.
That picture down too might be in the way, eh?
Sorry?
The picture above you might be in the way.
Nope.
No?
So what I have to do is I have to put a 2x4 here. I'm going to put a 2x4 on that. I'm also going to set one there so that I can tie into it there. So I'm going to put a 2x4 up and down, and then we'll go from there. Once that's done, then I can start to try and figure out the actual cabinet portion. 56 3/4 plus. 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 Can't close those off until I get insulation. And I do have insulation. I just gotta get it. Insulation. Alright, so I gotta insulate up there. I don't know how high up, but somewhat. So I think that's about there. So that's good so far. Alright, I gotta work on the bottom.
Okay. Just under 2 feet. Just under 2 feet. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Can't stand fiberglass.
Running to Freshco.
I can't hear.
I'm just running to Freshco.
Oh.
What did I do?
I don't know, I'm gonna open it later.
I have waited by you. Sadly, you have your Amazon account on my tablet, so if I ever really need to know, it's all over there. Bye.
Love you.
Listen to you coming back, because they're doing me a lot.
I'm gonna totally listen for you coming back.
They're doing me a lot here.
Yep. I haven't done anything. But it worked out nicely. Most things that I do that people consider sketchy work out. Allie's gone. We can see what Amazon sent us. Woohoo! Things for the boat. And things for the baby. So really, I can't get in trouble if they both came and they're things for the baby. Really? I'm gonna get in trouble for that. And technically, these are for my other baby. Let's take a break, get some fresh air, and see how this fits on the boat. I'm hoping they fit well. It's actually not bad outside right now. I think these are a little smaller than I thought. Yep, a lot smaller than I thought. Apparently I'm not very good with centimeters. Well. That did not plan out the way I want. Did not turn out the way I planned. I'll leave them in there for now because they will take up some of the they'll take up some of the space. But I definitely need bigger. 7.25. I was sure that was maybe I thought it was in inches and it was in centimeters. I don't know. Oops. So be it. So I gotta have a 28-inch piece. Close enough. That to me seems sketchier than that. Yeah, I don't like it. Let's do it, but I don't like it. Not nose, safety glasses. Well, it wasn't bad, but I didn't like it. I don't have space, nor do I have. I could make up like a bigger flat table if this was all I did was woodwork, and that would be much better and safer and all that stuff. But I don't do that, so. Oh my, it's not exactly straight though. Not bad. Not bad. That's not bad. That can be covered up by trim. So these are 1/2 inch. Ooh, that's 2.5. 2.5. That's fine. The idea is this covers up the same amount as would drywall. Yeah.
That's all I think of.
I'm gonna have to fix this or just close this up temporary for tonight again.
Sure.
Just-
Do whatever you have to.
Yeah, I can't find my plastic for this, so I'll close it up for now.
Oh, you mean stuff that you have to put in there?
Yeah, which is not a
Oh,
big
the
deal.
vapor barrier and that.
Yes, exactly.
Aha. So you got
look
it
at
somewhere.
You being all construction-like, eh?
It'll show. Oh, that's great. Okay, now, this is,
It just goes out
it's a big one. Never need toilet paper, we got a ton.
the circuit breaker. I didn't try to stop this.
I got it open so we can pack it away somewhere, spores. And they come in separate. The bird enjoyed your visit too.
Oh,
Not
yes.
gonna stay there. I can't believe it doesn't bother him at all, noise.
No, it doesn't seem to, eh?
He's just an old bird, eh? He's put, I used to, you know, know, had a lot of different noises.
Yep. And the nice thing is that it's insulated in there now,
Yeah.
so it won't get cold anyway, right? But
Good.
so yeah, I can't find my poly, so I'm leaving that temporary for now. And Sunny's back in place. That's Sunny. Hey, Sunny. No? Okay. And these are, what are these ones' names?
Cheryl, what do you call your birds?
There's Snowflake is the white one. And what's the blue one? Sky? Blue. Blue. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Sunny's a little more chill.
I can't remember what I call the white one.
Snowflake.
Snowflake. You're right.
All right. So we're done for the day
Hey,
for
you're
now.
better than me at remembering.
You guys want to say hi to Fraser?
Hello, Fraser.
And maybe Sandra and the girls? Anybody else who might be
Hi,
watching?
Fraser.
Hey, Fraser. So, men's group this morning, Thursday morning, that was good. Went up for brunch with Zach, that was good. And I apologize. I left my jacket at home because I was waiting for Zach. And when Zach showed up, I ran out without my jacket. And my camera was in the pocket, otherwise I would have had Terry say hi to you, so I apologize about that. Yeah, then got home and fielded a bunch of phone calls, a bunch of texts just about about some stuff, and then decided to work on the project in Jack and Carol's place, getting that wall portion. What I want to do is put a shelf of sorts in there, but I want it to be able to open up on hinges so that it can it basically will conceal the water main and the water shut off for the hose bib that's out on that side. So that's my goal. We'll see how well I do at that, but that is my goal. So the main thing there was getting all the 2x4s in and the insulation in, but I can't find my poly to seal that off, kind of thing, right? So I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I'll put some poly around there and we'll see what we can do. And that's as far as I got today. Again, I measured it out, so I know what I want to do is I want to cut a hole about this big where the water shut off portion is, and that piece of plywood that was there, that 1/2-inch birch, that'll go up there with the hole in it, and then the other shelf that I'm going to make will go on to that via hinge or a couple 3 hinges. I want hidden hinges, but I'll take what I can get, and that will just be able to swing open a little bit, kind of thing, right? It's not going to be a big shelf for heavy things. It's just going to be like a knick-knack kind of shelf. But we'll see how that turns out. Again, that'll be. I'm happy that I got this far with this, considering I've been putting that off for way too long. And it turns out I'm doing a road trip tomorrow. So Kelly and Rich Wadden and myself are heading over to the island to pick up the cabinets and such for the church, and we're going to hit a couple other stores over there as well, and yeah, just kind of make a day of it, kind of thing, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera. I will be taking video throughout the day, and I'm going to do my best to have it all loaded up and ready to go, so by the time I come home, it'll just be able to be posted. That's my goal. So if things go sideways, I will do my best to get it up there as soon as possible. My goal is that I'll have it done by 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So, and hopefully I get some good video for you. And that was about all we did today, man. It wasn't a very big, busy day. It was just kind of a mellow day. So, but you know, got some work done at the same time, right? Which was good. Mentally, I needed to get some work done. I needed to do something. It was good for me, and that was a great thing to do. And I mean, I'm quite impressed with myself. I was able to start the project and not finish the project, and I'm not completely bent out of shape about it. That's a step forward for me. So tonight, I wanted to read out of the Old Testament, the book of Judges. And what I wanted to read about was Samson. So, we've all heard of Samson and Delilah. Samson and Delilah are from the Bible. So it says in this will be Judges chapter 13,
14, 15, 16, and that'll be it. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to read parts. A certain man named Manoah, from the clan of the Danites, had a wife who was sterile and remained childless. The angel of the Lord appeared to her and said, "You are going to conceive and have a son. Now see to it that you drink no wine or other fermented drink, and that you do not eat anything unclean, because you will conceive and give birth to a son. No razor may be used on his head, because the boy is to be a Nazarite, set apart to God from birth, and he will begin the deliverance of the Israelites from the hands of the Philistines." The woman gave birth to a boy and named him Samson. Sometime later, he fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. The rulers of the Philistines went to her and said, "See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength, and how we can overpower him, so that we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver." So Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength. How can you be tied up and subdued?" Samson answered her, "If anyone ties me up with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, I'll become as weak as any other man." Then the rulers of the Philistines brought her 7 bowstrings that had not been dried, and she tied him up with them. With men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the bowstrings easily as snapping a piece of string. Then Delilah said to Samson, "You have made a fool of me. You lied to me. Come now, tell me how you can be tied." He says, "If anyone ties me securely with new ropes that have never been used, I'll become as weak as any other man." So Delilah took new ropes and tied him with them. Then with men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But again he snapped the ropes with his arms as if they were threads. Delilah then said to Samson, "Until now you have been making a fool of me and lying to me. Tell me how you can be tied." He replied, "If you weave the 7 braids of my hair into the fabric on the loom and tighten it with the pin, I'll become as weak as any other man." So while he was sleeping, Delilah took the 7 braids of his head and wove them into the fabric and tightened it with the pin. Again she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He awoke from his sleep and pulled the pin and the loom with the fabric. Then she said to him, "How can you say 'I love you' when you won't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." Now let's realize here, she had asked him 3 times. 3 times. He told her a different story each time. But each time when she tested that, she had Philistines hiding in the room to attack him. It doesn't say here that the men jumped out and attacked him, so, I don't know. I don't know whether they actually jumped out each time, or whether they were waiting, because they were smart, or not totally dumb, and waited for him to wake up and be weak. I don't know how you'd know he was weak before they attacked him and basically got killed, right? So anyway, she's tried this on him 3 times. And each time he keeps answering her with something else. And now she's saying, "How can you say I love you when you keep lying to me?" You'd think the bells should be ringing at this point in time. Like, maybe this is not a good match for me. Maybe she's not looking out for my best interest. I'm just saying. Anyway, how can you say I love you when you won't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength. With such nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was tired to death. God doesn't put anything in the Bible that he doesn't put there on purpose. He was literally tired to death. He was that nagged by her. So he told her everything. "No razor has ever been used on my head, because I am a Nazarite and have been set apart to God since birth. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me and I would become as weak as any other man." When Delilah saw that he had told her everything, she sent word to the rulers of the Philistines, "Come back once more. He has told me everything." So the rulers of the Philistines returned with silver in their hands. Having put him to sleep on her lap, she called a man to shave off the 7 braids of his hair, and so began to subdue him, and his strength left him. Then she called, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He awoke from his sleep and thought, I'll go out as before and shake myself free." but he did not know that the Lord had left him. Then the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him down to Gaza, binding him with bronze shackles. They set him to grinding in prison, but the hair on his head began to grow after it had been shaved. So this is a massive, absolutely unmatched strength man. He's been given essentially a gift from God that he is completely thrown away, really, because of a woman who nagged him to death. I'm just saying, it's in the Bible. She nagged him to death. And he told her the truth. And so she found out, and she still sold him for the pieces of silver. So she didn't care about him at all. We already knew that from the story. But he's gone from this absolutely terrifying individual to now being blind and weak as a baby. He can't do anything. Somebody who used to, tear lions in half, rip doors off their hinges, carry them and throw them, take out hundreds of guys at a time on his own. And now he can't do a thing, and he's blind. But the Philistines were having a great party, and while they were in high spirits, they shouted, "Bring out Samson to entertain us." So they brought Samson out of prison, and he performed for them. I'm not sure what that means, but he performed for them. Samson said to the servant who held his hand, "Put me where I can feel the pillars that support the temple, so that I may lean against them." Now the temple was crowded with men, women. The rulers of the Philistines were there, and on the roof were about 3,000 men watching Samson perform. Then Samson prayed to the Lord, "O sovereign Lord, remember me, O God. Please strengthen me just once more, and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Then Samson reached toward the 2 central pillars on which the temple stood, bracing himself against them, his right hand on one and his left on the other. Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." Then he pushed with all his might, and down came the temple on the rulers and all the people in it. Thus he killed many more people when he died than while he lived. I'm not sure it's a great story in relation to you. In some ways it is, in some ways it isn't, right? But Samson had strength. He had dominion easily over anybody and everybody, all the Philistines, anybody he wanted to. He gave that up, but that was his own deal, right? But he lost everything. Like, he lost his abilities. He had zero strength. He couldn't see. He couldn't do anything. And he was being mocked and ridiculed, and he was imprisoned. He was at the bottom of his absolute barrel. It was the worst. But even in that, he called out to God, and he still, fair enough, he died, but he called out to God, and he completed basically what God wanted him to do, even in his incredibly depleted state. Again, not the best story because, he dies in the end, but, there's no doubt in my mind he would have been incredibly depressed, completely down and done. But he still called out to God, and God heard him. And he had gained, because his hair had grown back a little bit, and because God heard his prayer, he had regained his strength, some strength, and he was able to help deliver the Israelites from the Philistines. I'm hoping my point here is always to call out to God. Not that I'm advocating, tearing down buildings and, with people inside them or anything like that, but nonetheless. Anyway, buddy, I love you. I miss you. God loves you very much. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I will post more tomorrow.